Blessed day, soul family. Welcome back. We are in Taiji Tuesday, and we are talking about the yin yang of oneness practice. So, yesterday, we talked about guarding the one, what that means. Guarding the one is guarding the mind. And we talked about how keeping the mind free from distraction, understanding influence, thoughts, and feelings and memories, how they can manifest into the physical realm. So, we want to now understand when we were talking about embryonic breathing yesterday and Mental Health Monday, understanding the layers of socialization and the origins of our thoughts, our words, our feelings, our beliefs, so as to know who we are, what we're doing, and how to drop the mask and present authentically in the world. So, Taiji Tuesday today, we're looking at oneness and what is supreme oneness, right? What is source? What is creator? Someone recently described it to me as a portal, which makes sense. When I am in a place where I am forgetting oneness, I need to take a trip down a wormhole, if you will, to find unity consciousness, to find my highest self, my highest being when I'm in a low frequency. Anger, depression, guilt, and shame. How many of us walk around with the energies of anger, depression, guilt, and shame and think that it's normal? Because we're talking about spirituality here and applied spirituality. How can we apply spirituality if we are embodying the energies of anger, depression, guilt, or shame? I say those quickly because Marshall Rosenberg of Nonviolent Communication said that if we are in any of those energies, we can only contribute to the violence on the planet, not the peace on the planet. So, how can Tai Chi Chuan help us to find this aspect of grand unity, oneness, source energy, creator, the grand creator, and unity consciousness? Remember, coming out of 2025 into this series, we wanted to talk about unity consciousness and what we need to do to preserve and to remember and to remind ourselves and one another. We're looking at our poetry of June 9th here. Let me see. Where did I find it? I think it is right here. Don't need to look far. June 9th. Okay. There are five basic elements that influence how the Jing is manifested and how the fighting skills are carried out. These five elements are hands, eyes, body, techniques, and stepping. We can go a whole lifetime talking about these five aspects and Taiji Chuan fight of no fight. And this is our calendar installment for June 9th. Remember, we do a Tai Chi calendar, starts in January, and you can find more about that program, and you get a daily Tai Chi movement or a poetry or a quote like this sent to you. You can go to yinyangtaichi.org to find out about that calendar program. But going back to this poetry, We're talking about the unification of these five elements. But more importantly, we're talking about the unification of the body. So Dr. Young talks about the body being separated into six large bows. Here's an article that he wrote, Introduction to Internal and External Gene, Internal and External Power. But he repeats this quote where he's talking about the five basic elements that influence how the Jing is manifested. So, from these factors, thousands of styles were created and developed and discriminated into hard, and soft styles. Consequently, the manifestation of Jing is also distinct from one style to another. Opening the bow stores the Jing. Releasing the bow emits the Jing. The effectiveness of releasing the bow depends on how skillfully the bows are opened. As we discussed in the previous article, the storage of internal Jing depends on the mind and the qi and the breathing. What do you see when you have all these components come together for the right movement, the right moment? You have the five elements, you have the six bows, you have the three energy centers, right? You have the 10,000 things, all of which have the potential to experience grand unification. And not only that, but experiencing and creating the conditions for grand unification just honors what is naturally present. And it just honors the Tao. So the storage of external Jing is decided when your root is firmed to the ground and also how the six bows are open. This means the body's skills or postures of storage. The efficacy of the external gene's expression depends on the sharpness of the power or the focus and the speed. Therefore, all styles have their own training methods to strengthen the storing power of their bows so as to increase the speed and improve the sharpness of the Jing Li. Because the Jing is the key in winning and losing. Every style has historically kept its training methods secret. However, the most important key to the Jing's emission and neutralization is the unification of internal and external. Yin yang balance is the important key. Harmonious coordination of internal and external genes. Now, let's look at the movements. Okay. So now we're looking at movements. And here, as we're getting into June and July, we're looking at quite advanced um, walking sequences and advanced Taiji Qigong exercises, right? Remember that unity consciousness can be felt and experienced in the body. And Taiji Chuan gives us the potential to put all six bows into one unified movement, which satisfies the pursuit of all Qigong and all Taiji Chuan movements, moving the body as one unit. That's harmony of movement. And that is the benefit of the moving meditation. Because what is moving meditation and what is the effectiveness of moving meditation? Essentially, it's repetition over time. Because in order to master these movements, in order to get to a place where you're unified, you have to go one single step at a time. For example, this movement that you're seeing started off as just this movement, bringing the feet together, switching hands, and then feet apart, right? Feet together, feet apart. Simple, easy to do. Also, building the leg strength. So, this is how the 10,000 things applies to the physical training of Taiji Chuan and the building, the slow building process. When we can harmonize the simple footwork, we can now go to more challenging footwork. Here we go. The heel toe transition, sitting on cross legs from Ma Bu to sitting on cross legs. And that's how we slowly build the unity consciousness in the body. And then that's how the mind and the nervous system can benefit and also experience unity consciousness. Let's take a look at another simple movement, single whip. You notice I took 2 steps there. In single whip, you don't see walking like in Tai Chi Chuan, you don't see walking like that. But we're talking about getting to a point where we're being able to utilize these in everyday life. Because Tai Chi Chuan and all of these martial arts styles and the forms are just a sequence of movements that you have to memorize. Your teacher requires that you memorize. But the function of that is the passing down of the techniques. It's the passing down of the important movements that the practitioner must embody in mind, body, and spirit. But the memorized form is not the entirety of the system. The system requires the martial arts system requires that you be able to extract the techniques and utilize them anywhere on the cement field, in the open grass, when it's raining in the mud. So that's why the footwork is important to practice. Different stepping is important to practice. Notice I'm barely changing the hand movements. What I'm focusing on is the footwork. And think about it. When you first started learning Tai Chi Chuan or other martial arts styles, you focus on the hands, right? You want to perform the move, and your teacher is correcting you on the hands because the hand's important because you got to block the right way in the right time. But the torso, the arms, the hands, the head, they're all standing on what? The legs. They're standing on the stance. So here, what you're viewing is essentially the hand movements performed within different stances or within different steps and steppings because the system, our teachers, the lineage requires that we are able to perform the hand techniques while the feet are alive. This is something that my teacher would often say. The feet are alive. You have to be able to move backwards and perform your hand technique, move forward quickly and perform your hand technique, stop and perform your hand technique, stop and go quickly, stop and go, move slowly and perform your hand technique. So that's why just simple horse stance and simple switching is rudimentary, foundational, and important. Just switching from side to side, switching from side to side, to the right there, to the left, getting the balance training, getting the stance the mountain climbing stance on the left leg there, getting the mountain climbing stance on the right leg, switching appropriately, staying balanced. And then it also trains the third eye because you have to turn behind you. So just to reiterate that, the focus is behind. So that trains the third eye to be conscious of what you're looking at in front, but also what's behind. So we're talking about a lot here. Now, when you get comfortable with that, you can make the footwork a little bit more complicated. But so here, and then going back to the bows, right? The two leg bows and the two arm bows in harmony. Yin yang balance. So yin yang, remember the 10,000 things. The 10,000 things in the world, right, is also broken down into the 10,000 things within the body. For example, we're looking at this uh, with this posture. You have yin and yang, upper body and lower body. You have yin and yang of the left and right hand. One hand, so you could say this hand is yang while this hand is yin. In this movement, you see the weight on my front leg, so you could say that leg is yang while this hand is yin. When the movement manifests, when I stop or when I apply pressure, both legs should be in balance, both should be in harmony, yin and yang harmony. The torso maintains upright ability to maintain yin and yang. So let me know what you think. And that will conclude today, Tuesday, Tai Chi Tuesday, the yin and yang of oneness practice. So we'll continue and talk about this in regards to wellness and conflict resolution because we have to bring in oneness when we're talking about conflict resolution, and then also wellness whenever we have something that is in a dis-ease, we have to mitigate the conflict and find oneness with our pain, oneness with our injury, oneness with our ailments in order to transcend them. So let me know what you think, and may your chi flow smoothly, and remember to embrace the woo.